Mother-in-law kept guilt-tripping me for not eating her Indian cooking, so I started bringing my own dishes and giving her the same treatment. Now she's suddenly not hungry too. My mother-in-law thinks she's basically the Gordon Ramsay of Indian cuisine. Like, this woman acts like her dal and curry are gifts from the gods that everyone should be grateful to receive. The first time I met her, she made this huge spread of food. I'm talking like 8 different dishes covering the entire dining table. And look, I'm Chinese American, so some of the spices were just way too intense for me. I tried a little bit of everything to be polite, but I couldn't finish most of it. That's when the guilt trip started. "You don't like my cooking?" she asked with this wounded expression, like I'd just insulted her entire bloodline. I tried to explain that I wasn't used to such spicy food, but she just shook her head. Everyone loves my food. My neighbor, Mrs. Patel, always asks for my recipes. Even the white family next door begs me to make extra. My boyfriend jumped in to defend me, but the damage was done. I felt terrible. Here's the thing that really got me though. That same day, when my boyfriend mentioned that I love to cook Chinese food, his mom immediately made this face like she smelled something gross. "Oh, I don't like Chinese food," she said, waving her hand dismissively. "Too greasy and salty for me." I was shocked. Like, there are thousands of different Chinese dishes from dozens of regions, and she just wrote off the entire cuisine, but somehow I was the bad guy for not loving her super spicy curry. This became a pattern every time we visited. She'd load my plate with food I couldn't handle, then act personally offended when I couldn't finish it all. "You barely touched the biryani," she'd say, shaking her head sadly. "I spent 3 hours making that rice perfect." Or she'd corner me in the kitchen going, "Is it the spices? I can make it less spicy next time." Then she'd look at me like I was some kind of culinary failure. The worst part was watching her serve my boyfriend these huge portions while giving me these tiny, sad little scoops, like she'd already decided I wouldn't appreciate it anyway. After months of this, I decided I'd had enough. Last Sunday, I showed up to dinner with a whole bag of containers. I'd made dumplings, lo mein, sweet and sour pork, and this amazing ginger scallion fish my grandma taught me. I set everything out on her table with this huge smile. "I'm so excited to cook for you. I made all your favorites," I announced, even though I had no idea what her favorites were. She looked at the spread and immediately went, "Oh, I'm not really hungry right now, maybe later." That's when I pulled out her exact playbook. I put on this disappointed face and said, "You don't like my cooking? I spent hours making these dumplings by hand." She tried to backtrack. No, it's not that. I just ate a big lunch." "But everyone loves my dumplings," I continued, really laying it on thick. "My coworkers always beg me to bring extra to the office. Even my neighbor, who's never tried Chinese food, said they were amazing." I watched her squirm as she tried to come up with excuses that didn't sound exactly like what I'd been telling her for months. "It's just, the flavors are very different from what I'm used to," she finally admitted. "Oh, so it's too salty for you?" I asked innocently. "I can make it less salty next time if you want." My boyfriend was trying so hard not to laugh. He knew exactly what I was doing. The best part was when I started serving her tiny portions of everything, just like she'd been doing to me. "Here, just try a little bit. You might like it more than you think." She picked at the food for maybe 2 minutes before pushing her plate away. I'm really not that hungry. I've been doing this for 3 weeks now, and suddenly she stopped commenting on how much I eat at dinner. Funny how that works. Last visit, she actually asked if I wanted smaller portions of her food, which was the closest thing to an apology I'm probably ever going to get.